Oh, the bottles come out of my bag.
Hello, everybody. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Miss Rachel is here. Don't worry. She's here. You're not stuck with me. Okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's just me. Oh, wait. I think she was just fixing her camera. You know what I mean? We didn't want to make you feel like you were on a trampoline or in a rocky boat or, make you all seasick right off the bat. So here we go. Now you get to see the beautiful face. We have Rachel today. We have beautiful Rachel here with Decoupage Queen. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm always excited, though. I mean, I think it's normal. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with it.
Go with it.
I'm just going to let her mess with her camera. And yeah, happy Saturday, y'all. How was everybody's new year? I hope everybody had a good new year and it was safe and fun. Created some new memories. I think new memories are very important. So, yeah. So today, I know Rachel has something totally amazing in store. Don't worry. It's going to be awesome because she always makes something very unique and amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing what she's going to do. And what kind of paper is she going to use? I don't even know. It's a surprise for all of us. She's almost there. I think she's got it. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right.
I'm really sorry. I'm having so many issues here, but I'm going to make the most of it.
So, yeah, it's all good. It is all good. It is all good. Happy Saturday. And you know what happens or comes with a happy Saturday at Decoupage Queen, right?
Oh, right. What happens?
I think some of you do. I think some of you might be in on the know.
Oh, I know.
You can totally enter to win a goodie bag tonight. And all you need to do is share the video and tag a friend. And of course, love the video too. We like to love. We like, hugs, and love. Yeah. So there you go. And I'm curious to see what Miss Rachel is going to be doing for us today. And what paper is she going to be using? Because, she can do a little bit of everything, this woman. She is quite a talent. We are in for something amazing.
We're in for, I hope we're in for a treat. I hope. We'll see. Let me know if there's a problem with the camera because I've just noticed I'm actually on my side on the screen. So that's unusual.
Okay, I do see that. But as long as you keep the project right there in that area, I think we're good.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna just do something that should hopefully finally put that to bed and sort it out. Where am I?
I'm just moving my microphone.
Right. I think
she's got it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It just.
She just wants to make sure that you guys have the right point of view and that you can see everything properly and all that good stuff. So, and I don't want to get you guys, sick.
Let's do this. I think I'm upside down this time, aren't I? But what can I say? It's just.
We can work with it, girlfriend. We can work with it.
Where am
Good
I?
Good vibes.
I'm just trying to hide that lamp for you because I know that's going to be right. Right. Okay. So today I'm going to show you how to certainly not how to use a camera. That's sure. But I'm going to show you how to make. There she is. This is the top half of my doll. And there she is. Can you see her? There she is. And this is going to be her bottom half. And she's going to go on here. I really wish.
That is so cool. Okay. See, I told you guys.
This is all going to be covered. So give me 2 seconds again because I just really want you to be able to see what I'm doing, and I'm really concerned that you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing. So I do apologise.
Okay,
Right.
not a problem. I'll take this second to say, hey, everybody. Hey, Miss Becca, Miss Mary, and we've got
There we go.
Robin, and we've got Miss Sue. Shout out to Julie, Benita, Miss Ann. We got Joy.
Right.
Hey, Terry. Okay,
So,
yeah, I think I gave a little shout out to everybody. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for coming. And look, see, I told you Rachel was going to have something crazy and amazing up her sleeve. All right, let's go.
I'm going to show you how to get to this stage. And then once we've got to that stage, we're going to put it all together and finish off this stage. So that's where we're going. So how I started off is I started off with, this is a paper lathe mold, and it's 2 different pieces that I've stuck together. So it's like making a paper bead. And I've done that, and I've stuck them together, and then I've covered them with clay. And I can take the little bonnet off so you can see her a little bit better. So you can see here, I've just covered that form with clay. And all I've done is I've done just a little button nose. I haven't bothered with any other sculpting. Everything else is painted. This is all flat. And so it's just all about getting the clay on the mold and putting a little blob for her nose. That's all you need to worry about. And then I brought the clay down onto the body, and then I've started adding my rice paper. Now the rice paper I've used on the body is the really nice one with the spiders on. And
I love it.
I've ripped the bottom off and I can't find it. But when I post my pictures, I'll put all the codes for the papers that I use. So I've used this one for her clothing on her body. And then to make her arms and her hands, I'm going to show you how I do that. So these are all paper beads that I've covered with clay. So the trick when you're doing a paper bead, if you don't know, I'm sure lots of you do know, but when you're doing a paper bead, the trick is to have your paper at the width that you want your final bead. Let me grab a piece of paper. So I'm going to imagine that I want to make another arm. So I, guesstimate or put this here, and so I want my bead to be about that big. So that's my main target, is to have the longest width of the paper at that width. So I'm just going to cut that, and then what I do is I just crease it at the top in half. So I've got my middle point. It's just a really lazy way of getting my middle point. And then I just go from that point to the corner point on both sides. And that's going to give me the exact size bead that I need for an arm limb. An arm limb, is that right? I think that's right. I mean, these other pieces, they can be used for other paper beads or whatever. And if you want to use this technique to do other things, of course you can. You can use all kinds of things. But this is my preferred way of making my clay doll limbs, and I use it for arms and legs and all kinds of things. So the next thing I do is I'm using a paintbrush, and I'm just going to wind that round slowly. So I've just taken that large edge there, and then I'm just going to add some glue as I go to hold it in place. Now, I'm not too het up about this, because let's find some glue that's actually got some glue in it. I'm not too het up about it because I am going to be covering this in clay. So this is only really a form for me to to cover. So it doesn't matter what paper I use. It doesn't matter if it's not really amazingly well stuck. As long as I've got the shape, that's all that matters. And because we've tapered it, I'm going to get that nice sort of, can't think what the technical name for the shape is, but it's going to be shaped. You know, it's going to have a thicker bit in the middle and thinner bits on the edge. So that's how we make the paper bead, and we do that for all of the pieces that we want to make. So I'm just doing arms, so I've done 2 long ones and 2 shorter ones for her arms. And then to join them in the middle, I've made myself some round beads, because I didn't have, normally I would actually use wooden beads, but I didn't have the wooden beads I normally use, so I did those. And then we also need to make hands. So I'm going to show you a really easy way to make hands. And funnily enough, it's also how I draw hands as well. It's really a nice, simple way of doing that.
I would like to say, Miss Lisa said she is obsessed with your ring. She thinks it's beautiful.
With my ring. Oh, my friend Lou Withers made that for me. Isn't it lovely? I'm so in love. It's beaded, and she just did this beautiful job of it. So here we go. So I'm gonna get about the size of clay I want, and when you're using the clay to cover your paper beads or to make your hands, a really good idea is, because you're going to do of each thing, is that when you're in the stage of working out the size, do them together so that they're the same size. So, but I'm only doing one, so.
Okay, that's a good little tip.
I'm full of them. I'm full of them. So then to start my hand, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a mitten. And when I draw hands, this is how I start drawing my hands, is I draw a mitten. So that's it, little mitten shape. Hopefully you can see that. So I've got my little mitten. Mittens on kittens. So there we go. That's my little mitten shape. And the reason this is really helpful for drawing hands and making hands is because the thumb joint on your hand and on my hand, on everybody's hands, is lower down than the rest of the fingers. So if you start with a mitten, you've already got that thumb in the right place. So next thing I do is I take a pair of scissors and I start on the little finger end, because for me that's better, because otherwise I end up with a bit of a chunky little finger, and I just cut 3 cuts into that mitten, hand bit, finger bit, that bit.
Nice. Okay. Very nice.
And so I've got my fingers then that I can just take a little bit of time and just shape them and add as much detail as I want. And you can do the same when you're drawing, do exactly the same, but obviously don't cut it. Draw the fingers in that mitten area, and then add as much detail as you like, and it'll give you a nice hand.
Very cool. And hey, Miss Shannon, I don't want to ignore anybody, so I think I gave a shout out to pretty much everyone. So
I've got my left hand, and then for this particular model, I've put holes in the hands, because that's how I'm joining them to my body. So I shall move on, and I'm going to show you now how I string this up. So I'm using elastic, and I think this is 2mm elastic, which I really like. So let me. Well, you were very welcome, Terry, and I can absolutely promise you, if you draw a mitten or shape a mitten first, it's always easier. So to string this doll up, I go through the hand with, so I've got a double piece of elastic there, and then I will have covered these pieces in the rice paper, as I've done here. You can see these are covered in the rice paper, and then I've just popped a little bit of lace on the end because that's my roll. And then the beads I also covered in the rice paper because they just allow for a little bit of jointing.
That is so cool. That's so cool.
So,
Miss Lisa was asking if you're hanging in there with all that weather you guys have been getting.
oh, we've got more coming as well. How rude. It's okay. I've got a craft room. I'm happy. I can entertain myself. I don't need to go out. So yeah, but thank you very much for asking. So now I normally use a needle for this, and I think I'm going to have to in this instance. So I use my bookbinding needles to thread this up because they work really, really well. So I'm going through my hand, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through one at a time with these pieces of elastic. So I want the larger joint. So again, imagine I've covered this in rice paper. So I just want to make sure we get to go through everything. So that is why I'm
No problem. You're here now, and that's all that matters. We're happy to have you here. Thanks for coming. Yes, Terry, I think the weather is being rude to all of us. I completely agree.
Yes, it is. It's just rude. But we're adaptable, aren't we? I mean, that's the beauty of being a human being, is that we are really adaptable. And we might moan about things to begin with, but we'll soon get the hang of it. Oh, come along, fiddly. Get that through there.
California needs water, but sheesh, Mother Nature's trying to drown us.
Oh no.
It's like California snow, huh? Just rain, 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 rain. It's like, wait a second.
It's just, I think everybody's got crazy weather at the moment.
So I am getting multiple compliments about the fact that this is very different, and they are very much enjoying seeing like the hands and the feet and the body, and yeah,
Oh wow.
your creativity.
Well, thank you very much. So that's the first arm. And then what I do, I'll show you on this one. So what I do is I then take this through the body to the other side, and I bring it down, and I come through the next hand, and then I bring the elastic up and tie it off somewhere up in the arm, and then that way you can tuck it into a bead and it's hidden away. So that's kind of the upper half of the body. Obviously I've painted the face, and this is I'm not sure if it's sheep's or goat's wool, but it's not a yarn. It's actually part of a fleece that hasn't been carded, and I just thought it was perfect. So the next thing I'll show you how I did. I'd show you how I did this little bonnet. So this is her little bonnet. So a lot of the time I just draw around whatever's on my desk to get shapes. So I drew around. Let me get that needle out of the way because there's no surer thing than I will lose that if I don't. Get that out of the way. So to make the bonnet, you just really need to make 2 shapes, and you want something round, and it's really, really, really super simple. It's, can you see me? Yes, you can. So we're just going, not even, oh, Rachel, stay on the paper. We're going around, and then I'm just moving that down a bit. So I've got like a crescent shape, and I'm going to be able to use that then for this bonnet here. So I do that, and then I do another line here, and this will allow me to cut out a piece like this. Okay, so once I cut that out, these tabs, hi Lou Withers.
Hey Rosie, can't see or hear. I'm not sure. We look like we're okay. I don't know what's wrong with I feel like I'm the one with the echo. And Jill said something about moving your hands nearer to your body because she said you're off camera, but I haven't seen you off camera at all. So I'm not sure if maybe the format being used maybe is cutting off some of you that of your specific point of view. Sorry about that. And then let's say hi to Miss Louise.
Yes, Louise Withers, the splendid ring maker. The ring has been admired, Lou Withers. So I've got these shapes now. And I'm just going to cut these little triangles out, and this will just give me a nice neat finish when I stick it together. So there we go. Now the beauty of the decoupage queen rice papers when you're doll making is just, wow, it's phenomenal because they're really good quality for one, but for two, because it's rice paper, you've got so much flexibility and you can cover all your elements really, really, really easily. And you can use every single last scrap of a paper. I mean, I can't tell you the tiny little pieces I used covering some of the beads, because you can. So, you know, nothing goes to waste. So to make the bonnet,
that is well said. I completely agree with you, Rachel. You can use every little bit of the paper.
It is every last scrap. So this is the
layer it too. You know, you can layer it on top of.
It's just perfect. And this is the another paper that I've used. I've used 3 different papers. So this is again, I've ripped off the bit with the information because I was really excited about what I was doing. And what I will do is I will take photos, and I'll put the paper names and numbers on the photos, because these papers do work particularly well together. So what I've done is I've stuck my rice paper to a piece of I think this is linen.
It looks like linen. I mean, or canvas material.
Yeah, I think it's the linen. It's nice. It's nice to embroider on as well. But I've stuck the rice paper to because it's got a nice movement to it. So then what you're going to do is you're going to cover this just with plain rice paper and this just with plain rice paper, and you need to do this piece with on both sides. And then we'll fold these little doofers tabs, that's what they are, isn't it? That's the real name. And then I've cut myself a rectangle of this gorgeous paper, and so all I do is I adhere this to that end and stick that down so it's got a nice good strong hold. And then once that's got a nice good strong hold, I can gather up the other end and stick it onto that circle. And so that then gives me this little, oh, that's popped out, how rude, that little shape there. So, and you can see there, that's the calico or the linen all just stuck in there, and that gives me that shape. And I've just put some ribbon on them to tie onto her head. It's perfect.
I do have a question from Lori. She was wondering what adhesive you use for the paper and linen.
The adhesive I've used is I've used Beacon 3-in-1, or I would have used Fabri-Tac, or there are products out there that are specifically to adhere rice paper to fabric, but I specifically wanted to use either Fabri-Tac or Beacon 3-in-1 because I wanted, I knew I was going to be quite rough with all of this. So there we go, that's her. And then I will say, when you're painting the face, because we've got a flat face, you remember that light brings things forward and dark brings things back. So if you look at her face, I've got a little bit of shading near her eyes and around her eyes that just sort of makes them actually look as if they've got a little bit more sculpting going on than they have, because this is completely flat. So there we go. Right, let's pop her there and we can move on. This is her body, and you can do these any size you want, and all you need to do is cut a circle that's going to actually match the circle of her base, so that when we stick her on, she's going to stick nicely. So we've got one that's the size of her base, and then any size you want that's a bit bigger. I mean, it really all depends. The bigger you go, the obviously the rate the paper can change. And I was going for a bit of a Game of Skin type look, so I wanted something a little bit narrow. So I've done that sort of shape, and I've cut 6 supports, and I've just glued them into place. And I've used exactly the same glue as I've used for everything else to do that. So we've got the base ready to go. The other thing I've done is I've taken some cast for some nice keys, which I thought would be quite nice to pop onto the body. And then in preparation, I have created the fabric for her, the base of her dress. And I can actually tell you which one this is. This is Neutral Flourishes, and it's rather lovely, and I thought it would make a really nice dress. And I just popped a little bit of lace on there because, I thought it would go with the rest of the dress.
I gotta say, Rachel, I think a lot of us are speechless. and we're speechless because of the sheer brilliance. I mean, wow. My mind is blown right now. I'm just wow.
Oh,
Wow.
bless you. Did you use spray adhesive to stick? No, I didn't, Laurie. I just used 3-in-1. This is 3-in-1 beacon glue. I would have used Fabri-Tac if I had that because it's pretty much the same thing. So that's that. Now, if it was convenient while I'm doing this, I would sew this together, but it's not convenient because obviously you saw me struggle with the camera in the first place. The last thing you want me to do is start messing about with other things. So I'm just going to glue this because I really trust this adhesive. So I'm just going just along the edge. There we go. That. I'm just going to glue this in place because I want this to create a like a cylinder of fabric, if that makes sense. So we'll just give that a little bit of drying time, but you can see there, this is what I'm going for. I'm going for a cylinder of fabric. So if I had my sewing machine or I fancied a bit of hand sewing, I could do it that way. And of course, the other thing you could do with this, which I really quite fancied, was doing the base in wire, and then you can add, you could add lights and things to it, which would be really, really cool. And it's definitely on my to-do list. And with the rice papers, you could use the rice papers without the fabric, and you would get the light coming through fantastically. So I'm just making sure that's really stuck. And then I'm going to take my base. So I'm just giving it a twizzle just so you can really see what's going on. The base is this is just grey board. It's a grey board. It's probably, it's a little bit more than 1 millimeter thick grey board. So, and I've just cut it myself. I've just cut a large circle and a small circle, and then 6 strips that I've stuck to it. So now what I'm going to do to add a bit of rigidity, that's a better word. To add a bit of rigidity, I said that and I can't say it. To add a bit of rigidity, I'm going to just put some glue along these supports so that when I put my skirt on here, some of the areas will stick onto these supports, which is going to end up giving me a really nice solid base.
Hello, Glennis. Welcome.
Oh, Blathers.
Hey, Miss Helen.
Okay, so I'll pop some glue on there. I've got my little doofer, and on that goes. And then I'm gonna just, and again, you could sew this and gather it if you so wished. Right, I'm just squeezing it in a little bit. I want it to stick onto some of those supports. And then I'm going to just pop some adhesive on the top here to get these little edges. Come along. There we go. So really making sure everything gets adhesive on it. And then I'm just folding it over the top there, so that all those gathers will be held in place. place. There we go. Just rub that adhesive on my hands.
Wow, that came together very well.
Now, you've now got the bottom of her dress. I'm not sure how much of this is actually sticking to the supports, but hey, let's get that there. There. Oh, fantastic.
Wow.
So now I'm just going to give it a twizzle because I'm deciding which bit I want to be the front, because I've got a couple of joins that I'm not that, I'm going to put some keys and things on there, so we're not going to see all of it, but there's no harm in choosing which side you think's the prettiest. So I've got that going on. Let me I've just got to grab where's that gone? My silver wax has gone on holiday. Hang on, it's just behind me. I'm going to grab my silver wax for these keys because I like to do a little combo of silver and gold. Yeah. And I want some gold threads. Here, chunky.
And don't forget, y'all, you do have a chance to win a goodie bag tonight. All you have to do is share the video and tag a friend. You have a chance to get these papers or any of the beautiful papers that, yeah. And she's very generous. Very generous. I think there have been a few shares of the goodie bags on the DQ fan page. So if you're curious, check those out too.
They're so generous. They are so generous. So just pop in some silver wax on there. And I'm going to add a little bit as well to give it that sort of age look by combining the colours. If you combine your metals, it gives you a completely different look. So let's stick this key down. Come along. I think I might have to open a new bottle of glue. There we go. Okay. I'm going to stick that key. I'm sticking this key on one of the seams rather cunningly. So I'm hiding some of the bits that I don't want to see. I'm going to use this as a little bit of it'll be like a corset. I'm going to pop it when we pop her body on top. I'm going to pop this on the join.
I gotta say, Miss Shannon is adorable. She was just saying how truly amazing this is, but she was also saying, she's like, I get excited just getting decoupage paper stuck to the board right. Nevertheless, like doing all of this amazingness.
Honestly, there's a lot of room for adaptation with this. A lot of room for adaptation. There really is. It's not when you break it down into the little components and do it a bit at a time. I mean, I've spent probably a week just putting this together, just doing a bit here and a bit there. And when you do that, it's okay. It's not difficult.
You're definitely getting some compliments on your ring there. People are liking that ring. So.
Well, it's that Lou Withers and her beading. She makes amazing things. She's
And
very,
then
very, very talented.
Miss Julie said that she's totally enthralled by watching you right now. It's very creative.
There we go. So I'm just so I've got my little keys. I've got my little lock that I wanted. And let's grab some of this gold cord because, yeah, it's going to have to be gold cord. It's going to have to be. It can't be anything else. Right, so I've got some gold thread there. So I'm going to just string up some of these keys and, well, I'm not going to string that one up because I can't, because there's no, unless I'm, no, there's definitely not a hole there. Right, the ones that haven't got holes, I'm just going to stick on them and pretend that they're threaded on there because I can. So we'll pop that one there. Tie it up. I mean, these are not going to sit exactly how I want them to, but I'm going to glue them so that they do. So let's just put a few keys on here. Oh, that's cheeky. The knot came undone. Just a few keys. And let's have a look, one more. Come here, you. There we go. So she's got some keys going on. And I'm going to stick them into place. There we go. So just going to pop them into place. The string is not really going to do anything practical. It's just there to look as if they're dangling from it. There we go. And we'll put a couple of cheeky little ones on here.
Just getting all kinds of compliments here, lady.
Oh,
Compliments. We've got Glennis saying she loves to watch how you build a design. A lot of attention to detail.
it's really
Joy
kind.
is in love with it, and all the way down to making the beads. Just a whole bunch of them. I might have missed some.
Oh, that's really, really kind. I'm really glad you're enjoying it because I didn't know. I didn't know if you would, if this was going to be a good one or not. So I'm glad it is. So we'll just, I don't know why all the keys, I really don't. There's no, they're just, why not? So the next thing I need to do is I'm going to bring these strings up here. I'll make sure that cheeky key is stuck on. I'm going to bring these strings up here because they can go underneath the body. And we can cut them off afterwards. Now I'm going to use, oh, there's another little key I can pop on later. I'm going to use some gel for the body to stick the body on, because there's a hole in the middle, and I want to make sure that it all gets stuck. So let's hold her where I want her.
Oh, Miss Shannon said it's her first time seeing you, but she's definitely going to go check out your page.
Oh, thank you so much. So let's lie her back down. Now she's all together, and I'm going to stick that there to cover.
Oh yes, you can always. Rachel's doing lives quite often, actually, and she's got a lot of different kinds of experience, and she's not afraid to try new things. Rachel's amazing, so definitely go and give her a follow on her pages and YouTube and stuff like that. You'll be speechless. I think that's the best word I can use.
Thank you so much. So there we go. That is her pretty much in a nutshell, and it's really hard to show her to you in full. I'm gonna have to take a photo, I think, but you can see I've used this lock to cover any bits that I wanted to cover here. And then I've got the keys and the strings, and she's on a base, and she stands up nicely, and she's got her little hands jointed, and she's very, very tall, as you can see. And I just wish that I could show her all to you now, but I'm just not clever enough. But,
Wow.
but yes, I've got a high plan. I've got a page, and I've got a group, and I've got the YouTube. I'm quite easy to find, and I do a lot of stuff for. I'm live tomorrow with Mad Archers. So yeah, I'm all over the place. I am all over the place. I'm like a bad smell.
You are not like a bad smell. You're like a good smell. Stop it.
I'm everywhere like a bad smell, but I'm a creative.
Sparkles with fairy dust and magical things.
Yes, so there she is. I don't know what to call her. She doesn't have a name yet.
I see an opportunity.
Yeah. Does anybody want to come up with a name for her? Iris. Oh, I do like that.
Then we have a Fiona.
Victoria. Oh, how wonderful.
Queen Emily. Iris Clementine.
Oh, what's that? Madeleine. Oh, from my
Madeleine. Okay. I like it. I love the inspiration. Look at that randomness, and look at all the love. It just sugar.
Well, when I will take photos now. I will set her up, and I will take photos now. Esmeralda, I love it. I will take photos. Helen Martin, the actress. Oh, I don't know who that is. But I will take some Madeleine with Chatelaine. Yes, oh, Blathers, you're very good. Oh, she reminds you of your sister. Oh my goodness. Well, I will take some photos now, and I will look at your selections. Selections, that's the right word, isn't it? Yes, selections. And I will give her a name, and I will also put all the codes for the papers that I've used as well. So that is what I will do.
Awesome. Well, that was really quite fantastic, actually, to be honest. Like all those different names just fit in.
Yeah, Lady Lou Goldie.
Oh, we did. We've got a Goldie now. We've got a Goldie. Yep. Yep. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close the fantastic wheel of names. You know, that wheel that goes choo, 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 choo. It spins and then it picks a name. I'm going to go ahead and close that now. So I do have all the names on the wheel. So for one lucky winner, you will get a Decoupage Queen goodie bag. You might get some of these designs. You might get some of the new ones. Who knows? But it's going to be amazing. That I do know that. I do know that. So without further ado, let me present the wheel of names here. Give me just a second. 1 second. There we go. Share it. I believe it is being shared. I can see it. I see it. I see the beautiful wheel of names. See there. And we're going to click to spin it. And let's see. I want to be surprised, just like everyone else. What name was it? Oh, Miss Mary Casey. Okay.
Woo!
We got Miss Mary Casey as the winner.
Congratulations!
Congratulations.
Oh, you're gonna be so happy with your prize.
Extremely happy. I'm jealous. I want to win a goodie bag like every Saturday. Like you know?
Me too.
I'm going to go ahead and go back to the two screens. So there we go. And
I don't know
Miss
why
Mary,
I'm holding it. But
what? I'm sorry. What'd you say, Miss Rachel?
me? I'm just holding her hands. I can't help it.
Oh, you're just playing with her. You just can't. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. I probably would be doing the same thing. I would be sitting there and fiddling just because I can, you know. So I just want to say, Miss Mary, just email Avetta at decoupagequeen.com to claim your goodie bag. So just make sure that you emailed her. All right. I hope I put that up there long enough. Mary, let me know if let me make sure I. Oh, wait, we got some more. Do we have some more names? Dancing Queen? Isn't that a song? Isn't that a song? Help me out here, guys. Help me out.
Yes, it's an ABBA song. It's an
I can
ABBA
hear
song.
it in my head. The squirrel
We
and
can't
Pearl said
sing
she
it.
loves the doll. ABBA song.
We can't.
Someone congratulate. Yeah, good one. It's ABBA. Okay, I remember ABBA. Yep. Lots of congratulations. Well, I want to take this moment too to say thank you everybody for taking the time to come and support Miss Rachel and Decoupage Queen today. I always look forward to these days. They're always so inspiring, and we keep doing it because of you guys, and there really aren't enough words to describe how much we appreciate your support as fellow creatives and artists in the community. We really appreciate your time. And yes, I'm going to leave it at that. And Miss Rachel, would you like to say goodbye to our amazing, wonderful guests that we had today with us?
Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed myself, and I really hope that I managed to show you enough to so you could see that it is, it's a very achievable thing to make.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I completely agree. Well, thank you guys. Without further ado, the curtain will close, and we'll see you wonderful guys next Saturday, same place, same time. I look forward to it. See you guys.